Now we want to discuss a topic that's also related to lines, which is object styles. Object styles is the settings that decides what each category, line weight, color, and pattern will be. And in this lesson, we'll learn about cutline style settings, assign the line weights we made earlier to the categories in Revit, and learn to calibrate the lines in our template. So to start off, we want to define the line weight of each layer of the wall. This setting is known in Revit as cutline style. If we zoom into this corner, you will see that all the lines have the same thickness except for the boundary line, which is thicker. We can change this by making the block layers and structural layers appear thicker than the finish and insulation layers. This will impact the aesthetics of our drawings, especially in larger scales. So let's select the wall, edit type, and edit structure. You can see that we have each layer of the wall separated with core boundary lines that determines the internal, external, and core layers. Also, the layers are assigned with a function parameter. In this case, stone and mortar are assigned as finish 1. Solid block and hollow block are assigned as a substrate layers, and plaster as a finish 2. In this wall, you can see that it's only have one layer, which is the reinforced concrete. So to be able to change the settings, we want to go to visibility graphics and check this box, cutline styles, and edit the functions inside with their line weights, colors, and patterns. In our template, we want to have the hierarchy between different functions, so the numbers will be 6 for structure, 5 for substrate, 1 for insulation, 4 for finish 1, and 2 for finish 2. Let's apply the changes. You can immediately see that the line weights have changed for the wall layers in hierarchy appealing function-wise. If we opened our line weight sheet, you can see that line thicknesses in both views are the same for scale 1 to 100. Let's go to Manage, Additional Settings, Line Weights, and change the thickness of line slots number 6, which is assigned for our reinforced concrete wall. You can see that both line 6 and the structural wall thicknesses changed. This concept will be the same for all other lines. Let's change our plan to scale 1 to 50. Here you can see that the lines are too huge and ugly. To fix this, let's go to the line weight setting and we'll calibrate the line thicknesses while looking at the wall. Starting by reducing the line slots values, slot number 1 is also related to fill pattern line weight. As you can see, the fill thickness is changed. Let's make it 0.1. Other lines will increment values of 0.05 millimeters. So slot 2 will be 0.15, then 0.2, 0.25, 0.3. When we apply, you can see that the lines are enhanced. Let's continue other lines. Slot 7 will be 0.4, slot 8 0.5, and slot 9 will be 0.7. You can see that the external stone cladding layer is too thick, and the layer separating the stone and mortar is too thin. To change this, let's go to line weights and change the slot number 4 values and make it 0.22. Then let's reduce all thinner lines to 0.18 and 0.14. The layer between the stone and mortar is called common edge. We can change its individual line weights from object styles. If we scroll down to reach the walls, extend the plus button, common edge cutline style, we want to change it to 3. and apply. You can see it's getting better now. So if we change the scale back to 1 to 100, you can see that this looks great, and other scales also looks great. That's 1 to 50. Now I want to set my settings for the other scales. I predefined them earlier, so I'll type them quickly right now. You can pause the video and copy them. So here are how the final output will look. This will come in handy when we use floor plans and we want to see the elements and to visually differentiate between the wall layers and other objects. So after discussing the line weights and cut line styles, let's continue in defining object styles for other categories. I created the sample floor plan to contain some of the main elements. For instance, this desk line weight can be defined from object styles. Let's put the furniture category line weight slot to 3 and apply. Curtain walls will have two different categories that we'll have to set, which are curtain wall mullions and the curtain panels. So let's start with the curtain panels. Projection will be 1 and the glass will be 1. Cut will be 2 and hidden lines will also be 2. Curtain wall mullions projection will be 2 and the cut will be 3. Now let's zoom in to this toilet and change how floors, doors, plumbing fixtures will look. If you go to doors, you can see that the projection line weight is 1. Let's make it 2. For the cut values, 2 for elevation swing, 4 for mullions, 2 for glass panels if they exist, 3 for hidden lines and openings, and 1 for panels and plan swing. 3 for hidden lines, now for plumbing fixtures, we'll change them from 1 to 2. For floors, cut and common edges will be 3, hidden lines, interior edges will be 2, and slab edges will be 4. All projection will be 1. So the general rule is panels line weights is less than mullions, mullions less than external finish, substrate and structure, and furniture can be near glass or mullion line weight, and tiles and hatches should be the thinnest. All tags and annotation should be kept at a minimum thickness as well. Finally, projection is less in general than cut, and it's almost should be unified for most of the elements.